All right, this is All Things Days with Garrett, and Garrett just came into the Carolina Fear Fest, and I'm super excited about just a couple people. One is Katt, played Ralph Hinckley, Greatest American Hero, and just like a week ago, I went to see one of the locations for his home in the Greatest American Hero, the pilot episode. It was in Pasadena, and then I want to see Daniel Roebuck, who was in Matlock with Andy Griffith on season 7, 8, 9, and a lot of people would be like, well, why do you want to see him? But I mean, the guy's been in like Terrifier 3, he's been in a bunch of Rob Zombie films, but Andy Griffith is a national treasure in North Carolina, Andy Griffith Show, but it also is where there's been a lot of stuff filmed in Wilmington, and I'm a big Wilmington film guy, obviously, from a lot of videos that I do, so it's just really cool. That's pretty neat when you got Michael Myers right behind you. Gotta make sure I show this. Maybe gotta keep an eye on him, make sure it don't sneak up on me. This is pretty interesting. So I want to see these guys, but there's a lot of people that are here. Michael McDowell's here, Tracy Lords is here, Halloween, the Exorcist ladies here. So I'm just gonna kind of walk around a little bit. There's a couple panels I want to show you. We'll do, and then there's the guys who did the makeup artist people from The Conjuring, the Black Phone. I love the Black Phone too. All those. So let's just kind of walk around a little bit. Let's see what's going on.
You weren't kidding. Your microphone is better, I have to admit.
Okay. So we got stuff on the show over there, the main stage. Last year, David Arquette was over there.
Who here is excited to win some of these awesome prizes?
Yeah, I mean, there's just a lot of cool stuff. I mean, here, the little boy from Deliverance, a lot of neat stuff. That's cool, because that little banjo boy, that's pretty sweet. I should go back and talk to him. Tattoo stuff going on here. Motorcycle. I'll show you this here. Katt was down here. He's already left, but I did get to see him. I got to meet him. I'll show you some pictures from there. Here's the Holler and Same Ride, Granville Haunt Farm, Monster, Maine, over there. Yeah, and there we go. And I'll show you the panel from them. Nancy Loomis, Eileen Dietz, and then of course, the legend for me, Daniel Roebuck. He's got John Abrams was over here. He was on the panel as well. I'll show you some clips from that, but really good dudes, very enjoyable. I had a great conversation with Daniel Roebuck, super nice guy. And we talked a lot probably 10, almost 15 minutes. We had a nice conversation. And when he was really talking about Terrifier 3, but he did talk about Rob Zombie and talking about how he talked about his faith. He's a Christian, he's a believer, and talked about how, people say, how can you do both of those things? How can you be in like a horror movie like Terrifier 3 and then still be a Christian? But he says that he gets the opportunity. When people ask him about working, he gets to talk about his belief and his faith, and when he shares that, he says, I'm an actor. He goes, that's what I do. He goes, I get to talk about the states. We talked about The Crow. Let me get this in. Let me get that in the background. That's pretty cool. But he was, we were talking about The Crow. They filmed in '93, where right next door stage to the Crow, where Brandon Lee was shot. It's not where he died, but he did. He said, I got a video on his last days of Brandon Lee. So basically, he was in stage 7 and 8 on the Matlock, and then they were on 4 or 5 for the Crow. Stage 4 is where Brandon Lee was shot. Then I had a great conversation with the guy from Bearded Skulls, and these guys, they worked on the Black Phone. I've done Black Phone stuff. They worked on The Conjuring. great stuff there. There's actually the grabber mask is over there. I put my name in for a raffle on that. So, but I'm gonna show you some clips that I took from two of the sessions. One with William Katt and the ladies from Exorcism Halloween, and then also from Daniel Roebuck and his panel. And I want to show you that as well.
Have you received any odd gifts or requests for like pictures or stuff? Or questions?
I'm not doing any flying today.
That's fair. Did you bring the suit?
Oh God, no, I didn't bring the suit. I don't think so. No, didn't bring it.
Any questions again? Big round of applause. Nancy, Eileen, William Katt, thank you coming to Carolina Fear Fest 2025. But let's get started, shall we? I have a question for you guys. All of you were in iconic horror movies in the 70s and 80s. And I was wondering, what are some of the unique challenges in making horror films in the 70s and 80s that audiences today might not realize?
Well, we spent a lot more time figuring out special effects, because we didn't have CGI, and that had its advantages, I think, but also disadvantages in terms of time and money and technique, but advantages in that it was, first of all, really fun, and also I think creatively it demanded a lot to construct things that were going to scare people. So that's one thing I can think of that maybe people aren't so aware of.
How about you guys?
I mean, I can't even imagine if they used CGI on The Exorcist. First of all, I don't think it would have worked. And it was challenging. I mean, the vomiting scene. I don't think they CGI the masturbation scene. I don't know how they do that. But those are the scenes I did when I was made up to look like Reagan when I wasn't doing Zuzu. But I just think it wasn't really a challenge. But what they did with The Exorcist, just interesting, right? No journalists, no people, no press, nobody was allowed on the set. And I think it was the first time that really happened. Even we weren't allowed to take any photographs. Dick Smith, the makeup artist, couldn't take any photographs. And it was just absolutely top secret. And it was only challenge. I actually got 2 pictures from there. I don't know how I got them out of there, but that was challenging. And a lot of the scenes I did, like the levitation scene, CGI just wouldn't work.
Yeah, those practical effects of all of your films definitely are so high. It's wonderful to watch.
Yeah, I just was going to say, I agree. There's an overuse of CGI these days. When it's used correctly, when you can't tell it's CGI, then it works. But I like the practical effects back in the 70s and the 80s. The robotics and animatronics, that was a lot of fun to work with.
Yeah, Dick Smith made the first animatronic.
Did he?
Excuse me, you guys have a lot of pollen out here, as you probably know. Spinning Head, was the first animatronic they ever had. And Dick Smith's name again, he created it with a special effects guy whose name was Marcel something or other. That was the first time it was used.
No, it's a preference, so you guys.
The lightning round.
I'm nervous.
Everything's a competition with my little brother.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. I'll start.
But no offense, just tell me what you like.
Okay.
All right, what do you prefer, slashers or zombies?
Zombies. Slashers. I'm sorry, I'm fucking with this mic. What was the question?
Slashers or zombies?
Neither. Slashers.
Final girl or final guy?
Oh, final girl. Final girl.
There you go.
Final girl. Final girl.
You know the answers. Best horror comedy film of the last 10 years?
Terrifier 3. I don't think I've seen one. I don't know. Tucker and Dale, was that 10 years ago? That's pretty good. It's just right on the cusp. Actually, really good. Pass.
Terrifier 3.
Alright. Favorite horror kill you've ever filmed or covered that? What? If you want to, how about we go favorite horror kill that you've ever seen? Okay, go film whichever one.
I got nothing. Yeah, I think I just have real one. Just cut that.
There you go. More terrifying, creepy kids or possessed dolls?
In Tucker and Dale, when the kid throws himself on top of me in the grave and he impales himself on a spear and dies right on top of me, spitting blood into my mouth. That was awesome.
You can't kill the dead. Peace.
I love it. So who's creepy kids or possessed dolls? What's scarier?
Creepy kids. I have two. Creepy kids for sure. Possessed dolls, man. I have two.
Creepy kids.
And who, out of all of you, who breaks character the most? Tell us.
Tyler.
Tyler?
I don't think he does.
That you've worked with, like who? Somebody broke the.
Oh, Lachlan Monroe. Breaks character the most. Does anybody know the show New Amsterdam that I was on?
Yeah.
Yeah? Jocko Sims, who played Dr. Floyd Reynolds on the show, he could barely even stay in character. I always say Lachlan because we had one scene in Freddy vs. Jason where we were around the table and it was like a whole afternoon. It was like 6 hours and we didn't fucking get anything we could use because we were all just laughing and he just kept... I think Jason Ritter just couldn't take him seriously, but I would say Lachlan.
I'm gonna tell you who never breaks character. Dave motherfucking Sheridan. Legend.
But just
0096383 going once.
Spooky Twins. Some good art right there. There's some really good art right there. Hocus Pocus. All right, so again, thank you to Carolina Fear Fest for these. This is fantastic. Had a great time. And I enjoyed it last year. Chris couldn't come back with me this year. He was with me last year. We saw David Arquette was a good one. Kelly Maroney was here. That was another great one. Got a chance to talk to. But here, okay. Did you really call my name?
Yes, right here.
Sweet.
That's something.
That is very something. Thank you so much. This is awesome. All right, I gotta try it out. Finney, what's happening? So they had a drawing. I put money in the drawing for the Black Phone mask, and I just won. So. I'll have to get video pictures later for this. This is great. And anybody knows my channel, you know that I love the Black Phone. This is awesome. Really, truly is. Thanks to the guys from Bearded Skull. That's awesome. And they said, yeah, I know you were waiting over there. I didn't know. I just kind of took a chance to see if my number would be called. So this is great. This is a great way to end Carolina Fear Fest. Thanks for watching this video with me. Thanks for staying around. Thanks for hearing me out on some of these little stories, some of the footage. But thanks to the guys there for winning the Black Phone mask. This is really cool. And make sure you follow them, William Katt, Daniel Roebuck, the other panelists and people that are here. But again, thanks for watching All Things 80s with Garrett, and I'll catch you on the next episode.